All right, welcome back. We're still talking about 2.7 and we want to look at some examples of sets and how they relate to each other. So let's draw a set here, and this time I'm just going to use a capital letter to represent a set. And let's say set A includes 1, 3, 7, 9, and 10. B includes sets 1, 4, 6, and 10. And C includes 2, 4, 6, ... Now, what does that ... represents? That means the list will go on indefinitely based on the pattern that was before it. So if we look at the pattern before it, it's 2, 4, 6, so we're going in increments of 2. So these are even numbers, and they extend on forever. So let's make some examples out of this. So let's say we want what is the solution of A intersects B. All right, well, we said that intersection means they are common to both, so all our solutions must be in braces. And we find out, okay, well, which ones are the same? Well, 1 definitely is in both, 3 is not, 4 is not, 6 is not, and 10 is. So my solution is 1 and 10. So A intersects B, the set of 1 and 10. Well, what about, let's do B intersects C. Which ones do they have in common? Okay, well, B does not have 1, or B has 1, but C does not. But I see that B does have 4, and it does have 6. Does it have 10? Well, if this continued on forever, it would be 8, 10, 12, 14, so it clearly would include 10. So my subset, or my solution, is 4, 6, and 10. All right, so that's the intersection of. Those are the sets that have both characteristics or both numbers in them, means intersection. Well, what about union? Well, if I do A union B, that means the number can appear in any set and is part of my solution. So, and we don't duplicate in a set either. So even though 1 is in both of them, we only have 1 in our solution. And then we put them in incremental order. So I need to go 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, and 10. Remember that we do not duplicate any number in our solution. And they are from increasing in, or I would say, ascending order. Okay, especially when we're using dots. Now, how would that change if I did not do it in ascending order? Let's say I went 6, 4, 2, ... Is it the same as our subset C now, or our set C? And no, it's not, because this is going downward, so this would be 0, -2, -4, and so on. So you got to make sure that your ... and everything is in the proper sequence so that you can get those correct. All right, let's try one more. What would be B intersects C? And we see that it's everything, so it's going to be 1, 2, 4, 6, and 10. Now, these are going to go in increments of 2, so it's 8, 10, 12. Now, the pattern is not established here because between 6 and 10, I have 4, and I can only have increments of 2. So I definitely need to put another increment in there. And I actually like to have 3 total so that you know that there's an established pattern. And then I would continue on with my ... to indicate that even integers after 14 are included. All right, another way I could write that equation is, is 2 an element of B? And you go to your set B and you find that 2 is not an element of B, so you might want to write 2 is not an element of B. The last thing I want to just talk about briefly is about the Venn diagram, and that is just a visual representation. And let me get my eraser out here and clean up some of this so I have a little bit more room. And then I can, well, let's do this as a Venn diagram. Well, and if I was to do this as a Venn diagram, I know that I have a set A. And I said that they intersect. Well, okay, well, if they intersect, I can intersecting circles. Now, we said that the intersection of A and B, this is A and this is B, is 1 and 10. So I can go ahead and put them here in the intersection of A and B. And then my other numbers, I just fill in. 3, 7, 9 would go over here. Here I would have 4, 6. Okay, and then that would be my Venn diagram. Quite enjoy these. If you, there's the think out process, thinking it out, and they'll probably get much more complicated as you get into geometry and so forth. But we keep it pretty elementary here. And please take your time and do these problems. I know that the exercises are, especially dealing with all those states, is a little confusing. But if you take your time and work diligently on that, you should have no issues.